All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are going to do a mixed bag on this one, but these are all familiar with the page. So we're going to look at Rumble, SoFi, and FSR on this one, Fisker. So listen, I have heard all the squeeze noise, all the break, all-time highs noise. Like, trust me, I know people want more on Rumble, but listen, if you watch my pages, I am here for consistent uptrends, sustainable uptrends. And man, that is what this is. All right. This is beautiful. This really, we went from 4 to 8 as cleanly as you. There is no pump and dump in this. This was just ride the line, right? And I mean, I love it. There was a clear resistance. The resistance did its thing. And, we're watching it come down. And in my opinion, it should come down healthy. All right. So Rumble, believe me, this is more beautiful to me than a crazy squeeze up. Look, would I take one? Of course I would, right? But this is what you look to do across your trading career. All right, believe me when I say that. Okay, SoFi, listen, I was very honest about being wrong. I was very honest about taking a bigger loss than I expected. Yeah, SoFi really helped me just, I love my rules. I am a greedy little human, all right? And there are good moments where it's good to remember why these rules are there. And confirmation is king, all right? And then FSR, I still don't really know what that chart actually looks like, so I have no opinions yet, and that's actually going to be a pretty fresh review on this. So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's one here that I just talked about in the beginning of the video. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can you please subscribe to this channel, share this video online, comment good or bad if you disagree. I'm telling you, anything you can do helps so much. Clicking that share button does wonders, but for real, being here, giving me your time, I am so grateful for this, all right? So, there is a lot to like here. Now listen, I started the video with it. I'm going to say it one more time. I know people wanted more here, all right? And to me, this has been amazing, all right? This is what I love. This is what I love. I'm going to say it twice, okay? When the 8 moving average is a stock's best friend, all it can do is just bounce on it. That's all it can do. It's just hard to go below it, all right? At points, the 8 might slip. I don't know why I'm zooming out. This thing keeps going down, right? If the 8 slips, the next thought becomes it's going to come down to the 20, all right? The good thing here is we've got a really important line in between. So the fear of dropping from 750, right? I'm rounding 740, whatever you want to call it. That's the 8 moving average this as of Friday. Instead of dropping all the way down to 6, that's a big drop. The real expectation now really is there is almost, and I use the word almost, and I'll talk about it because of the last 4 days, right? But there's almost no reason to believe we'll go below 680, right? The line right now kind of reads 684, give or take, right? So to me, this is great because right now we have 2 moving averages to save us, let alone this third one, which is the 20 moving average that's also working out. Because again, end of the day, it's always the 8 and the 20. Either the 2 are your friends or the 2 are your enemies. And yeah, they're both going up right now. I just don't like the distance between the 2 because again, falling from the 8, hitting the 20 and going back up is a very easy thing to see. But again, no one wants to go from 750 all the way down to 6. That's a really bad loss. That's more than 20%, right? Because I'm losing more than $1.40 right there, right? So yeah, I love the fact that the 200's right here, all right? So before I talk about this line, which again, you can see did wonders, right? I really need to talk about the 200 specifically, all right? So zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, you can see since right here, since June 2023, all right? June of last year, wow, I struggled with that. We have been well below that line. Not even coming close to it, all right? All of a sudden, this nice little run got us not only to it, but it actually got us over it, right? The real thing is this, okay? So I would say, see, oh man, I was only looking at these two. I didn't really look at these two because that's a break and that's a good confirmation right there. That is okay. So this is. I really think okay, because like I said, I was only going to talk about these four. I didn't really zoom out to. Okay, so let me give you my thoughts as I'm looking at this. Okay, so first thing I always say, that regardless of any stock, 3-letter, 4-letter, or 5-letter, right? Dojis don't count. And I'm not a candle pattern dude. I'm not a candle shape dude. This is a doji to me. This is a doji to me. I'll be honest. That's a doji to me. That's a doji to me, right? Like it doesn't need to be crazy textbook. As long as the body is relatively small and there's some like good, relatively even wicks up and down, I'm going to call it a doji. Doji don't count. Doji don't count. Dude, you can arguably say this is a doji. I think what I'm going to do based on these three, I'm going to say that's a break of the 200. Not a good one, but it's a break with a decent confirmation. Again, it is a decent confirmation. I like this candle. I do. All right. What ends up happening though is though we break the 200, hey, we couldn't break this resistance line. Break all five and fly really is a foundation of how I trade. All right, believe me, it's more than a pretty rhyme. This thing did break all five. It did it in that 3-day window. I really would have expected a pop. All right. That resistance was a good, and I'm not here tooting my horn, right? But dude, look at this thing. As I look at it, yeah, it's not that hard. This is a good line. This thing is the bottom of July 23. This thing's basically oops, don't click it, baby. This thing's the bottom of this May 23 thing. This thing's the bottom of this March 23 thing. This thing's the middle right here of this. Yeah, dude, this is a big line. This 811 is a really big line on a stock that doesn't have a lot of history. It's been pivotal a number of times. Right, and when the stock hasn't done a lot, and this single line has been there for most of what it's done, it makes sense to me. It does. So that actually changes what I was going to say about this. I haven't talked about the RSI yet. You can see it's not looking good if you're watching the screen, right? But let me finish up here. Damn, I went longer on Rumble than I expected. So again, the 200 I believe has broken, and I think I now believe even harder we're not going below 680. I think there's a decent shot we'll lose this 8 moving average just simply because look, green can turn into a quick red. I think though the 200 will hold because we broke it. I think this 200 has gone from an enemy to maybe holding it. Now, granted, I might be a little cavalier with that because again, we have been remotely nowhere with it for almost 6 months, right? If not longer, because we said June last year, right? So, maybe it doesn't, but at the same time, that 20 is probably going to hit it. Give or take what, Wednesday next week? What is this thing saying? Thursday next week if you're looking in the box in the corner. I don't think we're going below that. I don't. I think we'll lose the 8. I think we'll hit this, and I think we'll go back up. Now look, like I was going to say, I thought, I don't want to say bad things, because again, I am still bullish on Rumble. There's some beautiful stuff happening here, all right? This RSI was just a little higher than it was ready to go. Look, 79 isn't the crazy of crazies, all right? Day before that was 80. That's not the crazy of crazies, right? But the way RSI works actually is you go to 80, then you come back down, then you go back up to 80, then you come back down, or you fall to 30, then you try to recover, then you fall to 30, right? So the fact that it hit the 80 wall and changed, that's actually textbook if you really want to know the truth. Again, is it squeeze this and squeeze that? No, but is it sustainable uptrend? Yeah. So I am really cool coming down from this 73 to, let's call it, what is this number, to 50. Let's come down from 73 to 50. That'll probably take us, like I said, maybe around that 680, 685 range. And then let's rip on back up, okay? The great thing here, I'm not covering fun and DWAC because, again, there is absolutely nothing about to happen for 2 whole weeks. Minus the Supreme Court thing, which might be worth making a video on. Now I'm saying these words, right? But I'm not expecting a lot of Trump news. So Rumble has shown it can go up while there's no Trump news, you know, and to me, there's value. To me, I think the technicals are taking over. I am still seeing way more people buying. This little window, you can argue maybe there's a little bit of like buying and flipping, but in more ways, I'm still seeing way more buying than selling, way more buying than selling, way more buying than selling, right? So I think it's still fair to say there's an accumulation as we're going up. So I'm liking Rumble. I expected this resistance. I don't even want to say that. It makes sense to me because I don't want to say expected. I actually thought that this thing was going to break all 5 and fly, right? So it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's go to the weekly real quick, and then okay, yeah, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Where are you at? 870. And it's actually kind of flattening out too. Sorry, that was a bad zoom. This thing was going at a deeper slope, right? It's now definitely kind of flattening a bit, right? So it's a weekly, right? So where are we going to open next week? Probably right here. Watch 660 just in case. Sorry, 860. My apologies. Watch 860 just in case we do break this 811 because I don't have a line there. I don't think I need a draw. Maybe we can draw it. No, that's way too low. If I was going to draw one, I'd probably draw something closer to $9. I guess $9 and 880 isn't that different, right? All right, let's draw this $9 line. I think it's worth drawing. It's basically half this big candle. It's almost where those two hit. It's almost half that. I think that's a good line. Okay, Rumble. We got our up. We got our down. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I'm not here pretending to be perfect. You know that. Let's come into SoFi. All right. SoFi, man, SoFi. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll start with, hey, if you can please subscribe, please hit that share button. It does wonders for the algorithms. All right, so I am a little lost at words for SoFi, and I made a video not that long ago comparing it to Tesla earnings and Meta earnings. All right, generally speaking, when something gaps up because of earnings, when something is able to get over all 5 moving averages, it flies. That gap up really made me believe it was going to go. And I actually thought I was lucky because I actually caught it a little bit on the lower end. I don't even know, but I know I was in the high 8s, all right? All of a sudden, we didn't continue. All of a sudden, I find myself back into the cluster of moving averages. All of a sudden, I have to hit eject because I wasn't ready for that to happen. I will be real honest with you, right? This right here made me you got to confirm. Confirmation is something I talk about across all my videos. And again, I'm just a greedy little human, right? Like I ain't no robot. I ain't no, this or that, right? So I assumed instead of letting it to confirm. And again, what I'm looking for are sustained uptrends. So when people say, hey, I got in the bottom one, hell yeah. No. To me, I don't want to say where I would have gotten in because it doesn't matter what the point is, right? But I don't need to get in right here. I'm cool getting in on a better candle, right? Maybe even this one for all it matters, right? Because there's still a lot more to come, right? And to me, I thought I was going to catch it. I don't even know what the word is, right? Oh, I got to pause this. I got to take this 1 second. Okay, I am back. I'll be honest, I don't exactly remember where I was, but again, confirmation is what I imagine I was saying because again, that's actually what I remember, right? If I just waited for the next day to say, hey, make sure, I obviously would. You know what this saved me on, if you really want to know the truth? And this is what I always talk about. It's actually not about being right or wrong. Look, obviously, I'm confident enough in my thoughts to come on YouTube and let people say I'm dumb if they disagree, right? Knock on wood, most people are saying I am not, and they say nice things, right? And I love it when you guys say nice things instead of me, right? It sounds more authentic. But this bit me. I'm telling you, I lost more money than I was really expecting, because the dumb thing on my side was this was supposed to be a safe buy. And when I think it's a safe buy, I throw down. I'll be honest with you. You know, I never talk about money. I don't like people like saying how many shares they got and stuff. Like, we're never here. That's actually a Discord rule number one. It's actually my rule number one, dude. Don't throw out real numbers, all right? Showing big numbers gets someone real anxious, and then showing big numbers, like someone might be mean because it's not even big enough and blah, 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 right? But I learned RBLX. So Roblox is what I'm about to show. We're going to go into the MEM one because I know I posted and it should be easy. Come on. Where is it? No, we went too far. Right here. So keep an eye on RBLX, all right? They just dropped good guidance, and that's generally sustainable. It just needs tomorrow to confirm. So I said this on the 7th. What happens between the 7th and the 8th? Let's talk about it, all right? Boom. On the 7th, we gap up. On the 8th, this was not good enough. On the 9th, we came down. Now listen, I'm still watching this, I'll be honest with you, because again, gapping up, good earnings, good guidance, those are good things. That makes me think sustainable up. I literally just said it, right? But I don't want a SoFi where the same thing happens, then we come back down. Now we're going to talk about the maybe after, right? But dude, even all right, I cannot stress it. I'm here learning every day. I am, right? So SoFi, for me, this sucked, but hey, I'm patting myself on the butt right now knowing that I saved myself on that Roblox one too. Because again, that would have been another what I would have assumed a safety thing, right? Like kids, parents throw down mad money for their kids. They like Roblox from what I hear. Like, I don't know, but whatever, right? So, yes, use today's losses, use today's mistakes for tomorrow's trades. Never forget that, all right? Don't let the bad of the trade outweigh the lesson that you just learned for pennies on the dollar if you went to, some stock trading thing, right? So, cool. What needs to happen on SoFi? Look, I say it all the time, break all five and fly, right? We are in a cluster right here, all right? And in a cluster that is this tight, I always call it a tornado. You can get shot up, you can get sucked back down, you can get dragged on down, you can get sucked back in for no reason, shot back. Like, this might fall in and out of the tornado, all right? I gotta believe the fact that the S&P 500 is pushing, the fact that NASDAQ is pushing, the fact that the Dow Jones Industrial, DJ30, is, I assume that was pushing. It's not pushing as much as the other ones. I was ready to make that pushing noise again. Nonetheless, SoFi should do well from at least the S&P and NASDAQ. This thing's a bank. This thing's a tech, right? Tech bank. I'll call that S&P and NASDAQ, right? I just don't know how much I trust it, especially given how tight all five lines are. I for sure do not trust this under 840. I don't even think this is probably where I'll start to trust it a little bit. $5.56, maybe even 57. As close to 860. Wow, super dyslexic. 860 is, I think, the goal for that like maybe number. I think, dude, I think this needs to get over 913 to really believe. Because, hey, it doesn't look like a lot, but even this 913 to this 10 line, that's just a green up, right? So that's a little more than 10% right there. And then if I'm not mistaken, beautiful things happen after 10. Yeah, they do, right? So I think it could be arguable that over 9 is the number. And then, hey, look, over 9 would make a nice W. All right. W is for winning. And hey, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind being on the winning side. You know what I mean? So I think I would wait till this thing gets over 915, 916, and then just ride the W on up, right? So and again, that's the W I'm making. If you're watching my mouse go up and down. So SoFi learned my lesson on Roblox. I don't know how I'm supposed to say, whatever. Yeah, I don't think I trust this until, look, I like the MACD diverging back on up. I'll take the decent volume, but again, you can see it from this zoom out. We're nowhere near the 50-day average, right? I wouldn't say we're nowhere near. We're nowhere near breaking it. And you definitely got to get over that line sustainably for a couple days to get out of this cluster for sure, right? Big support line right here. Yeah, 913 is I think the number. Let's look at the weekly really quickly. Yeah, look at that big support line for sure, because it's actually give or take the 50 moving average on the weekly, right? So yeah, I don't know if but listen, again, the good guidance is worth a lot. This cluster of lines is worth a lot to me too. You know what I mean? I actually would even say that W is, and I think if you can get over that, you're obviously over that, right? So it kind of echoes the same thought. So, damn, I'm already at 21 minutes. I want to look at FSR on this one. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. FSR. Okay, I'm going to say some bad things, all right? But I would much rather someone tell me the truth than someone just tell me it's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good when it's not, okay? That said, hey, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share the video, it does wonders for these algorithms, all right? So, Fisker, listen, I understand that this is a car manufacturer that you can buy for pennies a share. 78 pennies of them will get you a share, right? Like, I know that sounds like a real good, like, thought, right? But to me, and listen, there are a lot of different trading strategies, all right? One thing I don't like to do is average down, okay? To me, I would rather average up as the trend is going up versus averaging down and down and down as it's going down. Because look, I'm sure it sounded like a great deal at $3.90. I'm sure it sounded like an even better deal at $1.60. I'm sure it was a steal at $1.30. Oh my gosh, it's 78 cents right now, right? But the problem is this thing can't get over these two lines. All right. Now, these are computer generated lines. I have no influence on them at all. I do not know the math behind any of these lines. Like, I ain't no math genius here. All right. What I know is that green line and that orange line are a stock's worst enemy. Doesn't matter what 3 letters, 4 letters, 5 letters. These kind of make everything even to me. All right. And if you can't get over these two, all you're going to do is watch them go down and take you down with them. What makes it even worse, and you can see it on the weekly, is we are going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the black hole abyss that is all-time lows, as well as just a sustainably growing volume over the weeks and weeks and weeks as that black hole took it down and down and down. All right. And look, even on the weekly, you can see it. We are just struggling, right? There are times when you go away from the 8, then you come to the 8, you go away from the 8, you kind of try to, hey, maybe we're going to try to again, right? But for me, I'm looking for sustainability. I'm not looking for these random little pops, right? And we have seen this where the 8 and the 20 go away from each other like they did here. Then they come back to each other really thin. And you might find yourself a pop that goes up, all right? So there's a decent shot at a pop, all right? I need to believe these two have broken. Otherwise, all we're going to do is go back down them. Listen, I work hard for my money. I do, all right? I love my parents, all right? I do. They gave me so much love, so much support. They didn't give me a trust fund with, a lot of money. They did it, right? Like that's not what my last name brought. It's okay, right? That said, I don't have this like endless amount of money to just throw in, right? Like I used to do that. I used to throw in like a good percentage of my bi-weekly paycheck when I was making like 15 bucks an hour as a nobody. You know what I mean? Like I used to average down and just it sucked. It ate my soul, dude. Um, Wait for it to break the lines and don't let it happen once and get you excited and then watch it go down like more. This thing went up once to $1.70 and basically came down to half of that, right? You can't get excited on just one little pop. You need confirmation. That was the big story on SoFi. I don't know if you watched that or not, right? But again, I'm not here to ever wish bad things. I don't do options at all, so I'm not here shorting anything like that. All I know is though, I got to give respect to the lines, and that's my game. I'm not here saying it's the best. There are so many winning strategies. This one works for me, and if you like it, just rip it off. I promise you, it won't do you bad, right? So I don't need to look at the weekly, right? We only looked at the weekly to talk about the black hole abyss, right? Maybe this can make a move to $1.10. Where's the dollar? Oh, $1.10's a big pop. Nah. All right. The first expectation is 85 cents. The next one is 92 cents. All right. I will probably set myself an alert for 93. I'll consider something at 93. Because then, hey, maybe I can ride this red to this nice green to the 50. Maybe even peek my head up on a wick before coming down to that 130, whatever we just talked about here. 110 was it? 110. Otherwise, we might just pop on up and then come on down. And I'll be honest with you, I need to see some good things down here as well before I do anything in terms of like holding it overnight. And I think at the minimum I would need like 50 million, 55 million shares traded or more, right? And what I always like to do is if I'm trying to get 55 million in 7 hours of trading, I better get about 8 million shares an hour. Right? By hour 3, you better be close to 25 million shares traded, right? 8, 16, 24, 25, right? Otherwise, you're not going to hit that unless you get some crazy pump, right? So FSR, I'm not liking it yet. Break these lines and I'll love it because there's a lot of red dying to go up. And hey, going from the 20 to the 50 is a nice little move. Going from the 50 to 100 is obviously a better move, right? So not just yet. FSR, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I appreciate your time so much.